What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl Shelly Nicole with the Remedy Podcast. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It is Christmas weekend, so work was crazy. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I already know probably tomorrow is going to be worse. I could see it, but nonetheless, we're going to get straight into it because this is kind of a long episode, one that has been brought to my attention a few times. I said I was going to talk about it, but at the same time, I didn't want to speak too much on so much relationship stuff. I wanted to get to the self-healing and the other things that I talk about on this podcast, but just not as much as I would like. But I am going to just talk about it because it was brought to my attention again. So, this episode is trust on life support. Can it be rebuilt? Can trust be rebuilt after someone has lied, after someone has cheated, after someone has been a manipulator, after someone has done the most deceitful things? Domestic violence has done everything to break you down. Let's say has done everything to break you down, that caused you to not even recognize who you are anymore when you look in the mirror. Can trust be rebuilt? And the first thing I thought about when I started doing this episode, when I was creating this episode, I thought about all the times where my trust was broken when it came to relationships, and how I had to I always told myself that I would never take a cheater back, and I stuck to that. In the relationships that I was in, three of them, four of them, I think three, I can't remember. Listen, they're things of the past. But I can remember that it was definitely more than two that had cheated on me. And when it had happened, it was devastating. I was heartbroken. You guys know me. If you're into zodiacs, I'm a Cancer. We're very emotional, yada, 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 that whole thing, right? But regardless of whatever your zodiac is, when someone is cheated on, the feeling of, did that just really happen? All the questions that just come into your mind. What did you do wrong? What could you have done differently? What's wrong with you? Are you the problem? Are you the reason why they decided to step out of the relationship? All of these things started accumulating in my mind and had me thinking, like, was I the problem? And after my exes had cheated on me, when I had asked the question, when we were in a more comfortable space to speak, each and every one of them said, no, you were not the problem. They said I was not the problem. It was them. They were hoping that they can get away with what they wanted to do. They wanted to have multiple women at the time. They wanted to have the side girls, but then have their main girl being me. And thinking that it could just work out the way it's supposed to work out. My ex, my most recent ex, I never asked or got around to asking the question because I didn't really care. I was beyond heartbroken. I was beyond angry. I was beyond fed up with him. So I never really asked that question. But with my ex that I was with on and off for 5 years, me and him had a conversation. I think it was about 2 years ago, if not early last year, possibly early last year. I'm not even sure. Where I actually had asked the question, like, he actually brought it to me first. He said, do you think that we would still be together now had I not done what I did? And I said, yeah. Because I was never the type of person to sit here and date unintentional. I was always an intentional dater. Unless I felt like, you know what, hey, I'm just here for a good time and I just put it out there, not a long time. Or I was just, dating guys just to date them and see what happens, or we were just friends, or whatever the case is. But if I was in a one-on-one, this is the person who I like, this is the person who I love, that was it. And when he asked that question, I said, yeah, we would still be together. We probably would have had children by now. I would have hoped that we would have gotten married by now, the whole bit. But because he cheated, and not only did he cheat once, he cheated 5 times. I think I brought this story up to you guys multiple times. And then my recent ex doing one of the most devastating, most disgusting things that anybody could have done, which is cheating, but the way in which he did it. It was another heartbreaking and very hard thing to deal with. So when I say, and I pose this question like I did on my Instagram Friday and Saturday, well no, Thursday, Friday, I don't think I put it on Saturday, Thursday, Friday, can you rebuild, and can you possibly get to this point of reconciliation when someone cheats and someone lies and someone is very deceitful in a relationship, but also in a marriage? And it's 2 different things, right? It's 2 different things. The cheating in a boyfriend-girlfriend stage is not the same as a cheating in the husband and wife stage. And I'm well aware of that. And if you're not well aware of that, we're going to talk about that. Again, this is just from my perspective. This is from what I've seen. This is from people who I know. But we're going to talk about it for those of you who have dealt with this or currently dealing with this, think you're dealing with it, but not sure if you're dealing with it. We're going to talk about it. So let's go. So the opening truth, right? Why do women tend to stay after cheating, lying, domestic violence of any kind? And I really just had to think about it. And it's not as complicated as people think it is. A lot of women stay, a lot of us stay because, and this is the harsh reality, that staying is safer. For a lot of people, to stay is safer than to leave. Because at least they know what they have. At least they know what they're dealing with. At least they know there's a possibility that this can work out again. A lot of people stay because they have kids. Financially, they can't go anywhere. Emotionally, they feel like they can't go anywhere. They don't think there's anything else out there. There's anyone else out there that can give them what they have gotten with the relationship that they're in right now. They see the good. Us women, we tend to see the good in men. That's what makes us stay. That's what helps us to choose the men that we often choose, because we see the good in them and we see the potential in them, even when they don't see it within themselves. And when the cheating happens, although it is hurtful, although it breaks you and it tears, it literally feels like a tear. Like, if you've never been cheated on, then God bless. But if you have been cheated on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like as if your heart is dropping and it's tearing, or like it's literally bleeding. That's what it feels like. Because at first you're very sad. And then the next thing is you're extremely angry. Like, you're ready to break walls, windows, car windows. You're ready to break everything when you get cheated on. That understanding that staying after the trust is broken doesn't necessarily mean that you're weak. It means that, like I said, you see something that others cannot see from the outside looking in. They don't see it. They just see it as, girl, why would you stay? This man did this, this man did that. Why would you stick around? And why would you why would you let him play in your face like that? But the person who's in the relationship, but it was a mistake. He really didn't mean it. And it could have been something. Again, you start reflecting or thinking that it's you. You start telling yourself that you're the problem. Or that even if you know you're not the problem, you have some type of sympathy towards him because you have love for him. You love him. You care about him. But let's name the betrayal, right? What does cheating, lying actually break? It breaks the trust. It breaks the safety. It breaks the self-worth within the woman or the person who has been cheated on. The nervous system, the regulation of the nervous system, that's broken. That there is grief even in the staying. Like, you feel bad if you leave, but you feel worse if you stay. It's so much that happens when the betrayal happens. Some people just shrug it off like, hey, it is what it is. I remember when Beyonce got cheated on, everybody kept writing in the comments saying, well, if Beyonce can get cheated on, then there's no hope for the rest of us. And in my head, I'm like, well, who's to say that? Like, who made her the holy grail? I'm just saying, don't come for me. But I'm just saying, it's not anything that any woman, regardless of their status, how much money they have, it's not an easy feeling or a feeling that anybody should want to feel, because it truly and honestly hurts. I think I said it in maybe the last episode where I said, when you cheat on your partner, the endorphins in your brain that are signaled off are the same endorphins when you are being physically abused. So it's the same reaction that you're going to get if you were being hurt physically. When someone decides to cheat and break a trust and a bond, and it's like that soul tie that you had with this person is now with somebody else. And even if it's not sexual, right? Even if it's not sexual, if it's just flirting, some people see that flirting is a form of cheating. That's like you opening the door for it to happen. That hurts a lot of people as well. So it does something to the nervous system. It makes you kind of shut down. It makes you not really want to talk to anybody when someone cheats on you. It makes you look at everyone with like a magnifying glass. Everyone around you now has to deal with the repercussions of one person who they love or who they care about cheating on them. And let's not forget the fact that the person can no longer look at you the same. The version of you that they fell in love with is not, like, it's tainted now by the actions that you committed. They don't look at you like the person they fell in love with, the person who they first went on a date with. And now they look at you as someone who, again, betrayed them, someone who doesn't respect the relationship, who doesn't respect them, someone who, if you're married, I would believe disrespects the vows that you said before everybody that was there, all the witnesses that you put under God, that you said you would stay committed to this one person until death do you part. It is a different version of you that the person has to now accept, or choosing if they want to accept it, because some people, like myself, will not accept it. So like I said earlier, why do people choose to stay? It's the love, it's the good times. I love you, I care about you, all the happiness, the laughing, the vacations we took, the times you spent at my house, the times I spent at your house, the times that we spent together if we lived together. all of that, right? The children, the blended families. I don't want to have the children see us go our separate ways. I don't want them to see a broken home. I don't want them to have to go to mommy's house or go to daddy's house. They don't want to deal with that. The financial entanglement. Some people are better with money than others are. And some just rely on that one person, the breadwinner, to give them and to hold everything together because they can't financially take care of themselves. So where are they going to go? Who are they going to go live with? Especially if, they've been up underneath this one person forever now, and then they've distance themselves from their family or their friends. Who are they going to go to now that the relationship is rocky? Where are they going to go? That keeps people together as well. The hope that they will change, always feeling like it can happen, that it will happen, that they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that I stay because they claim that they love me. They're telling me that they love me, but let's see if they really do. Let's see if they really do care about me, or they really want to fix this. The trauma bonding. You both went through the same things. You grew up the same way. You had similar childhoods. You've both been cheated on. You both did this. So staying together feels better because now you both can handle this bad scenario because it has happened to the both of you. And they feel that there's no one else out there. With the dating pool being what the dating pool is, a lot of people just choose to stay because they're hearing from single friends. They're seeing on social media how dating is not the dating it was a few years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Like literally, I haven't seen so many people, so many women and men talk about how bad the dating world has been, how much it has changed, and me just seeing it myself, how difficult and how the roles have been reversed, damn near reversed. We could argue about this later if y'all want to argue about this later, but how much it has changed will keep people in toxic relationships because they just don't want to be alone, or they just don't want to have to deal with starting all over again. But now you might ask yourself, okay, so what's the difference between staying versus settling? So I want you to ask yourself this question first, right? Before you ask that. Am I staying because I see real accountability in this relationship? Or am I staying because I do not want to be alone? Or am I staying because I'm afraid to start over? Also ask yourself, is my partner actually doing the work or just saying sorry? And I want to talk on that because my ex did a whole lot of talking. My ex before him did a whole lot of talking. Ladies, let me explain something to you. Actions speak louder than words. You've heard this saying before. You've probably told this to one of your friends before. So let's use that same situation when it comes to this situation that you're in right now. He can tell you he loves you. He could tell you he's sorry. He could tell you I never meant it. He could tell you it was just a fling. He could tell you that girl didn't mean nothing to me. He could tell you I don't know why I did it. He could tell you everything from A to Z. He can come up with every single reason as to why he did it and what made him do it. But if he's not putting in the work, I'm talking about going to therapy if he has an addiction, or going to therapy in general to find out why he did what he did. If he's not surrounding himself by like-minded men who would hold him accountable for doing what he did. Like, bro, why would you even cheat on? Like, do you know what you got? Like, why would you do that? If he doesn't have that type of circle around him, if he's not intentional with not just buying gifts, not just buying, you can't sit here and I've said this to my ex, I said this to my boyfriend now. I don't give a damn what you buy me. You buying me anything is not going to make me want to stay with you. I'm talking about, I need to see that if you have these numbers in your phone, the phone numbers are gone. And not just gone, but they're blocked. In a day and age now where social media is so prevalent, and social media is probably one of the easiest way for people to initiate the cheating, the girls better be blocked. The girls better be off of your following. The DMs need to be erased. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here. We're in a time where social media is one of the biggest ways for people to cheat. And just to open the floodgates of the cheating. You obviously can cheat emotionally, but that's the first way it's going to start. I've even said, and some people will argue that no, this is not something they would want to do. I feel like if you have cheated, and if I ask you, can I look at your phone? Randomly, you should be able to say, here, take the phone. Because clearly you did what you did. You cheated, you lied, you had all these girls, you did everything, right? So if I'm asking to look at your phone to see that there's nothing there, that to me is helping me build my trust for you. Because again, all the sorries, all the I here's this gift, here's this flowers, here's this Chanel, here's that Coach, here's that, Louis Vuitton. I'm gonna take you to the spa, I'm gonna get your nails done, I'm gonna get your hair done. All of this is nice. But that can also be a cover up because you're just trying to pamper me to get me to shut up. So that way I can stop complaining about it. What work is he doing? Another thing is you have to be patient with your healing. And the one who did the cheating, the cheater, you have to be patient with your partner healing from what it is you've done. Because there's going to be plenty of times, and I'm saying all of this because, again, I did it. I tried to take my ex back after he cheated, and it just solidified to me that I could never do it. That was my first time taking back a cheater. And it just solidified to me exactly what I was saying to myself at 18 when I said I will never take a cheater back. And it's true. I will never take a cheater back because you didn't care about me when you did it. You didn't think about me before you did it. You just were thinking about yourself and hoping that you wouldn't get caught. But being patient in the healing really means that you as the cheater has to understand that it's not going to happen overnight. They're not going to trust you overnight. They're not going to trust you in a week, in a month. It's going to take time. Your main objective is to show them why they should stay. Your main objective is to show them. Hear what I'm saying. Show. Not tell. Show them why they need, or why you need them, or why you want them. Why is it that your relationship is so important to them? You have to do more work than saying anything. Now, let's say that you actually do decide to stay, right? Let's say you're not like me and you're just like, fuck this shit, I'm not staying, go to hell. Let's say that's not your thing, right? Let's say you actually decide that you want to stay. What does staying actually require? So let's understand what you need to prepare for. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, even if and when it hurts. If your partner who cheated on you gives you the blatant, honest truth as to why they cheated or what happened and made them go into this other woman, this other man's bed, continue to talk to them and continue to do it, you have to be able to take that. And you have to be able to sit with it and not react on emotion, not start storming off or crying or acting belligerent. You wanted the truth. You wanted to know what happened. You wanted to know why. They're telling you why. So when they do and they decide to do that, be able to handle it, be able to take it. What also you need to understand is rebuilding takes time. Like I said just a minute ago, it's not going to take a day, it's not going to take a week, it's not going to take a month, it may not even take a year. It may take a while. But again, the work has to be consistent. Boundaries are not ultimatums. I'll say that again. Boundaries are not ultimatums. Okay? Therapy. Both of you go to individual therapy and then possibly go to couples therapy. Because you have to figure out, you have to understand what happened, why it happened, come to grips of the fact that it happened to you. Again, your nervous system is shot right now. Your trust is broken. The bond is broken. You feel like shit. So you have to figure out how you're going to handle that and how you're going to get through it. You as the cheater, you have to figure out what is making you do it. Especially if this is not the first relationship that you've done the cheating in. If you have been the cause of all the breakups in all your previous relationships, what are you doing and what are you missing? What is missing in your life that's causing you to constantly seek other women or constantly seek other men to fulfill something that you're missing in your life? That's something individually you should do together. You should do apart. Now, having couples therapy, I've never done couples therapy, so I can't really speak much on it. But I would say doing couples therapy is great, mostly for when you're married. I don't see couples therapy being a thing when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, because it's boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, as a married couple, again, you took vows under God, under a judge, under witnesses to say that this is who you want to be with for the rest of your life. So it's deeper than a boyfriend and girlfriend situation. Not to say that cheating on a boyfriend girlfriend, status isn't as hurtful, but I would assume in a marriage it's way more hurtful than it is as a boyfriend and girlfriend. So I won't speak on something that I don't know. The emotional roller coaster. So it's like I'm reliving all of this as I'm speaking about it, because I remember how all this felt, right? The emotional roller coaster of you will love them and then you're going to resent them at the same time. You could look at them one day like, oh my God, like I really care about them. I really love him. I really love her. This and that. And then literally in 2 minutes. But why would you do that? Like, what made you do that? Why would you break this? Why would you risk what we have for 5 minutes of this? And let me also get this one thing out there, please. I don't give a damn. I've heard people say, well, if you're going to cheat on me, at least let the person be sexy, or at least let the person be better than me. I don't give a damn if she is a whole Megan Good. I don't care if she's Meg Thee Stallion. I don't care if she's Joy. I don't care if she's any of these beautiful women that are out here. You shouldn't do it at all. Period. I don't care if you cheated, if the guy that you cheated on looks like Lance Gross, or looks like Terrence Howard, or looks like Michael B. Jordan. I don't care. Cheating is cheating is cheating is cheating. I don't give a damn how fine the person is. It shouldn't have happened, period. Okay? The other emotional roller coaster, I just wanted to insert that in there. But the other emotional roller coaster is the hypervigilance. I remember that I was looking at everything he did under a microscope. When he was in the bathroom for too long. When he said I had to go and do this and that. When he was hanging out with his friends. When he was just on the couch texting. I was noticing everything from the conversations that he was having, when he wouldn't say certain things, or if he said certain things, like, why would you say that? Why didn't he say this? You're nitpicking at everything, because now everything the trust is gone. This is what happens when you break the trust. Triggers you were not expecting. Things are going to trigger you that naturally, or before the whole cheating, before the betrayal, never triggered you then. Now they will now. Feeling good one day and then shattered the next. I think the longest that I've ever felt so down after a cheat, or after finding out that my boyfriend had cheated, or my ex-boyfriend had cheated on me, I want to say I was down bad for like 2 days. Wouldn't get out the house. I took a shower now. I took a shower and I did eat. Y'all ain't finna tell me that I ain't gonna wash my ass or eat because of some chicken head ass man. Absolutely not. But I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do out of my house, really. Like I said, I took a shower and everything, but I really just didn't want to be around people for like 2 days, maybe 3 days the most. And then on the 4th day, I got up and I was just like, okay, I went outside, went on a walk. I decided to talk to friends. I decided to vent. It was around the 6th, 7th, maybe 8th day when I got angry. The healing doesn't come immediately after that. It comes way, way, way down the line. But you're going to have the moments of, man, fuck him. If he felt the need to cheat on me, then fuck him. I don't need him. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to go back the next days after that and cry. Because again, how could you do this to me? After everything we've been through, after all the good times, after you hung around my family, my mom and dad knows you, my brother knows you. If you have kids, my son has met you, my daughter has met you. How could you do this to me when I was nothing but faithful? And that hurt. I think that's what hurts the most, when you've been faithful, when you've done the change and you've done the work, and here you are meeting someone who hasn't done any work whatsoever. That hurts a lot. So the other reason why this conversation was brought to my attention was because of the Mariah the Scientist and her now fiance, Young Thug. Now, in my honest, unsolicited opinion, I think that Thug honestly did that just to keep Mariah, because he knew that if and when she decided to find her voice and to find herself, she would leave him. And when a man knows that he has something good and he messed it up, he's going to sometimes take the most drastic measures to make sure she doesn't leave. And because we're so emotional, and because we're so loving, nurturing, and caring, when we see something like that, someone asking us to marry them after they just been extremely deceitful, after I held you down this whole time, after I was being faithful while you were away. When a man knows that he messed up, he's going to take the extra lengths to do what he has to do to make sure she doesn't leave. And to me, that's what I think that ring was about. It wasn't a will you marry me ring. It was a I need you to stay. I might do it again, but I need you to stay because I messed up. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say that he can't do the work to fix it. Because like I just mentioned previously, you have to do the work. You have to show the action. It just can't be words. We only know that he has told her sorry. We don't know if at all he has done anything to show her that he really wants this to work. That he is truly and deeply sorry for the pain and the hurt and the embarrassment that he put her through. We don't know. But I don't think, again, my unsolicited opinion, she don't know me, I don't know her, I don't know him. But from the outside looking in, I don't think that that's a smart move for Mariah to do. I don't think she should marry him. At least not yet. Because it doesn't take someone that split of a second to change everything that has caused them to do what they have done previously. It's not the first time that he has cheated on a girlfriend or, you know, his baby mother. Is like, he probably has done it multiple times. This was just put out there because now he was in jail. And I don't know what happened, how they obtained that whole tape, but nonetheless, it was put out there for the public. So that's why it's now more broadcast now. And unless this has happened to other baby mothers that he has had, again, I'm not really deep into their life and what they got going on, especially, I don't even listen to Thug. Honestly, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I don't. I listen to Mariah, but I don't listen to Thug. So I don't know if this has possibly happened in previous relationships, but if it has, again, this is something that he has to now, again, this is why I say go to therapy and figure out why does he keep doing it. Because obviously it's not the relationship's going bad, it's you turning the relationships bad because of what you're doing. So why are you in this habit? I don't see them getting married no time soon. I think it's going to be a very long engagement. And I just hope she's doing the work herself to understand why it happened. And some people will sit here and say like, oh, it's not that deep. Like, everybody wants to think like, oh, you know, because you get cheated on, you have to go to therapy and you got to go to healing and this and that. I don't understand you type of people. I really don't. Like, it's like you're inhumane. Like, you're not you're not a human. You have feelings. As even if you don't want to tap into the feelings, even if you never want to speak about it, you have feelings. You have a nervous system. And even though it may be numb because you've probably dealt with too much damn trauma in your life, so the point where you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You need therapy. You need therapy more than the rest of us, if that's the case. Because nothing bothers you. Nothing hurts you. That's dangerous. Those type of people, I'm just saying, those are a little dangerous. So, if you're listening to this, I want you guys to know that you're not alone. You're not weak. Staying doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect the first time. Let me elaborate. If you choose to stay, don't let other people tell you, oh, well, you're accepting the bad behavior. I remember when one of my friends came to me and asked me this, and it was a long time ago, but she had asked me this. How many times do you stay before you finally say, I'm done in a relationship? And that's a personal answer. Everyone has a different cup that they feel needs to be, when it's at its tipping point, when it's at its surface. Everyone has a different level in their cup. Some things that will bother me, that will cause me to just say, you know what, no, I'm done, will not cause somebody else to sit here and say that they're done. They'll give it multiple chances. My thing is, if you keep allowing the disrespect to happen after the first time, even after you've addressed it, even after you've talked about it, they're going to keep doing it. Because part of them knows that you're not going to leave. If they cheated on you once, you forgave them. You laid down the rules. You laid down the boundaries. They claim they have done the work. They claim you've seen the work. You did all of that. And yet, you don't see it in them. But you could decide to stay. And they do it again, they do it again, they do it again, they do it again. They just know you're going to complain, you're going to cry, you're going to probably tear up some shit. You're probably not going to talk to them. You're going to put them on the block list and you're going to unblock. They know that they just have to smother you with love for a little bit and they can go right back to doing what they're doing. Because you're not going to go nowhere. You tolerate the disrespect one time. After that, that's on you. And that's my personal opinion. I don't think you need someone to cheat on you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different times for you to then say, okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Before you crash out and you do something that you'll regret. Leaving later doesn't mean you gave up. The hurt is just too hard to let go of. And that is very true. You can forgive the person, you can do the work, they could do the work. But if something deep inside of you is telling you this is not it, then it's not it. If you feel uncomfortable, if you can't look at them the same way, then that just means you're not supposed to be there. That the love is still there, but you just can't trust them. You can't be with them. And that's hard to do too. But again, your peace means more than just being in a relationship just to be in one after you've been hurt. So I hope this episode has helped somebody who has dealt with cheating, who is currently dealing with cheating. If you're currently dealing with cheating, listen, this is your decision to make. If you want to stay, understand what's going to come and what is being required of you if you decide that you want to stick around. But also understand what requirements you need to have for yourself if you want this relationship to work. And if you don't see it happening, if you don't see the actions adding up to the words, he can tell you, again, he could tell you he's sorry. She could tell you she's sorry as much as they want. But if they're not doing anything, and not just monetary things, but if they're really not putting in that work, if they're really not genuinely removing themselves from what has caused them to do that, they're playing in your face. They're doing what they're doing to shut you up. After they shut you up, they're going to go right back to doing it again. Set your boundaries. Tell them what you need. Tell them where you see this. Cheaters, be open to the fact that it's going to take some time. This is not something that is just a one night, 1 week type of thing. This is something that's going to happen. And it's going to take a while. And you have to keep giving that reassurance that everything is going to be okay, that you're sorry, that you know you messed up. No matter how many times they ask, you speak on it, you talk about it, you reassure it, and you soothe it because you messed up. Again, the nervous system, it's shot, it's done. So you want to get it back, you want to build it back, you have to do the work. It's just like when you go to the gym. You go to the gym, you work out, your body, it's getting into better shape. You stop going for months, if not years. Then you go back trying to do the same thing. You can't bench 375 pounds like you used to, because your body's like, okay, hold on, what are you doing? This is a shock. Why are you doing that? And you end up hurting yourself. You have to build up. It takes time. It takes time to get your body back into that shape. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. Just like, if another example, when you buy a car, but you want to fix it up, you want to do all these things, add all this, add all of that to the car. Unless you do got money like that, you buy the parts and the pieces little at a time to build it into what you want it to be. It's the same thing when it comes to building trust again, especially when you broke it. Take accountability for the fact that you broke the trust. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, why do you keep breaking the trust? Especially if this is not the first relationship you've done it at. What is your problem? What are you doing wrong? What are you looking for in other women, in other men, that you cannot find in one person or within yourself? That it just ignites something in you to just be around. And let me tell you something, it's just too many diseases going around for y'all to be doing all that now. It's just, it's not safe out here. It's really not. But I love you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. I hope you guys enjoy the time with your family and your friends. I hope you guys stay safe. I thought we were going to have a wintry Christmas, but I guess not. Whatever. Wishful thinking. Whatever happened into today, guys, leave it into today. Don't bring it into tomorrow. Next Monday is the last episode for the year. And it's just a wrap up of 2026. And I cannot wait to go into the next year with more new things I have lined up. But I hope you guys have a great night. I'll talk to y'all. Bye.